Hi, it's Gila Nehemia, sacred, erotic, self-love mentor, poet, and mystic, and you're here on the Collaboration Ascension Healing Series. And I'm here with Swami Yogaratna Saraswati. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
And I actually met her in an ashram in outside of Bangalore, or actually it's Gokarna. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful experience. I met her with my children, and I stayed at the ashram for about a month. So I was just excited, and Swamiji wanted, we connected, and I wanted to interview her. So I'll give you a little bit of background about who she is. Swami Yogaratna Saraswati was trained as a sanyasi disciple of the Bihar School of Yoga, which was founded by Swami Satyananda Saraswati, direct disciple of Swami Shivananda of Rishikesh. She has also been initiated by Swami Niranjananda, the present.
Yeah.
Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, cool. A little bit more about her background. She is a trustee of the Shankar Prasad Foundation near Gokarna, where she is setting up a spiritual retreat and retirement place on a 2.5-acre organic farm with English medium play school and volunteer community projects. She gives classes and retreats on all aspects of yoga meditation. She joined the Bangalore branch of Bihar School of Yoga, Atma Darshan Yoga Ashram in 1984. She took Sanyasi Diksha in 1985. She received complete training in all forms of Satyananda tradition of yoga, meditation, yoga therapy, and Indian spirituality. She served as a Sanyasi Savak, which is voluntary service, in the ashram for a total of 21 years by assisting in the running of the ashram from top to bottom, giving therapy and spiritual counseling and running classes for all manner of people and institutions. She conducted yoga teacher training courses, edited the Ashram Spiritual Magazine, and established a reforestation project. So, wow. Swamiji, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to know if you can share with our audience, because we're going through this very challenging time. Many people are feeling anxiety, depression, all sorts of things. And I wanted you to share how you decided to take this route of spirituality. Would you like to share that with us?
Yeah, I would, but I see it as two different topics. I think that there's one commonality, and that is by turning to spirituality, by turning in and finding your own higher consciousness, you find something tremendous satisfaction. That would be, I'd say, the one commonality. The difference is that this spiritual life was actually my destiny. Until I joined the ashram and started spiritual life in the ashram. And by doing that, I got over my depression. And I believe that life gives us pinches and problems to kind of nudge us in the right direction. And that depression was my pinch and problem to push me to do something about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. And the thing that I did, I went to find peace and get myself together. And when I got there, I found something that was just perfect for me. And so instead of staying for a 2-week course, which I enrolled for, I stayed for 20 years. And well, it was basically spiritual life, but it was also the practice of Yoga Nidra, because Yoga Nidra introduced my inner world to me in a valid way. And I was able to acknowledge and accept that I did have an inner world. And it was just a wonderful revelation for me. It was kind of like opening a whole new universe. And I think similarly in this day and age, when we have this problem where we can't go inside, there's a saying now, if you can't go outside, go inside. So if you can't go out, go in. And the way to go in is to learn meditation. And Yoga Nidra is one of the best and easiest ways of learning meditation. And one of the reasons why Yoga Nidra is so good is because it's done lying down. So you don't have to worry about being comfortable or being still or getting backache or anything like that. Because when you lie down, you can just let go totally. You can relax every muscle. And so it's really easy. And of course, the steps and technique of Yoga Nidra is also really good because Swami Satyananda, who discovered it in the ancient meditations from the Tantras, he modified it and simplified it so that people of today can do it easily. But the thing is, it's a step-by-step meditation which takes into account our restless mind. What I was saying about the yoga is designed in such a way as to take into account the restless mind. So you've got one step where you're listening to all the sounds and you really get into that and focus in that. And then just when your minds are beginning to, get bored and think, oh, I've had for this, then you have to bring your mind back in and start focusing on your body. And you feel your body resting on the floor and you feel very safe and secure. And then you have to make a journey around your body by feeling each part of the body from the inside and noticing how it feels and really get into the sensation of feeling, of touching and tactile sensation. You're really getting into that and you start thinking that, okay, I've had enough of this. And then suddenly you have to turn to your breath. So by giving different steps in the mirror, it makes it very engaging for the mind to focus. And this is one of the beauties of Yoga Nidra, that it's so engaging for the mind. It's so well designed. After all, it's thousands of years old. The yogis have been practicing it for thousands of years. It's so engaging for the mind that it really does focus the mind on whatever is the point of focus. And when you're focusing your mind on something to such an extent, there's no room for thinking of anything else, then you forget your worries, you forget your boredom, you forget your depression, and your mind stops thinking along that usual recurring route of worrying and tension. So your mind is busy, it's got something to do, and so it's not thinking of all those things that are giving you problems. So this is basically how the Yoga Nidra works. But even further than that, after going through all the steps and fully engaging your mind, then you go to the part where you explore your Chidarakash, your inner mind screen. And this is where you get to acquainted with your dream world and your subconscious. And especially for people who have problems, and who doesn't, you get to release, because once you get aware of your subconscious, once the subconscious comes to the light of your conscious mind, then all the tensions bubble up to the surface like bubbles to the surface of water. All your fears, phobias, and problems come up. And when they come up, you're in a relaxed state. So you don't get worried and react to it. And you're able to observe them and see them for what they are. And they just dissipate like bubbles on the surface of the water. So it's a great way of releasing all those tensions, worries, and negativity, and seeing things, seeing yourself, seeing life, seeing your problems from a different perspective, so that you realize that, okay, this is happening, but there's something else I could think of. There's something else there which is far greater, far more enjoyable, far more useful, pretty well off compared to so many other people, At least, okay, I may be locked in my home, but at least I've got a home. Yeah. And, probably if you're able to listen to this interview, you've got enough to eat too. So there would be thousands, millions of people far worse off than you. Oh, don't feel sorry for yourself because there's so many people worse off. It's that it gives you a different perspective of life. It's like going out into the universe and seeing the planet, and then see where are you on the planet. And then suddenly you realize you have so many different realizations that give you something to think about in life. And sometimes it gives you a purpose. In my opinion, one of the biggest problems that the people who have problems is that they don't have a purpose in life. They don't have something to live for. We all need something to live for.
I love that.
That's a little bit also sharing it with people like you.
Thank you, Swamiji. I think you've shared so many important points right there about how to shift your, negativity and depression, anxiety, anything like that with this amazing technique. I actually went through a 1-week course with Swamiji on Yoga Nidra. It was really amazing. I continue to practice it today. And I really agree with you about the inner world. It's so rich. And I loved your analogy of looking, like just able to be looking out in the universe to see ourselves, because purpose is so important. And I want to add, I just want to share that when you find your purpose, your whole life changes. That happened to me, and I actually am guiding people to live their purpose. And I feel that sometimes that's what we're searching for. Until
that's exactly right.
We don't know where we're going.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's absolutely right. So if you don't have a purpose in life, all these resources, I've got a home, enough to eat, what's the best thing that I can do with my life? I don't know what I want to do with my life. So what is the best thing I can do? It's like having a whole lot of money, deciding, well, how am I going to invest it? What am I going to do with this money? Am I going to squander it with, drugs and alcohol? Or am I going to invest it and use the money carefully? Or am I going to use it to help other people? Or am I going to use it to make beautiful paintings or travel or whatever it is? So you've got a life, and you've got all these resources that enable you to live quite comfortably. And so how can I use it to the best? What's the best way of using it? Because one thing I've discovered is that people who don't have enough, they're struggling. They're struggling to make ends meet. They're struggling to work to make enough money to survive. And that is their purpose. So they don't have so many problems. They may have different kind of problems. How to pay the bills, how to feed the kids, but their purpose is just to, manage to work enough to get money. So they're on the track, and that's why they don't suffer quite so much. It's usually the people who have that are always grumbling and, don't know what to do with themselves and feeling depressed and worried and tensions. But there are many yoga techniques to overcome that. And another thing that you would have experienced, Gila, is karma yoga. And in the tradition, I come from Bihar School of Yoga. Karma yoga is a very big component of that. Karma yoga is the yoga of action, of what you do with your time, ashram. And whether you're volunteer or not, you have to do something with your time. So that you're given little jobs to do. You have this, you have to help with that. You might have a duty here or a duty there. And because you're involved in some activity that is for someone else, not just for you, you get totally involved in that. And you get a lot of satisfaction for doing something for others. And also, karma yoga is a meditation in itself, because it's an opportunity to, you're not just doing the work to get the work done. Are you grumbling and saying, I don't want to do this, I want to read my book? So are you doing it and thinking, well, the divine might be here, and let me clean this room, or let me do this job, so that someone that I love really a lot is going to come here and enjoy it. And then you're going to put all your love and devotion and effort into it, and it's going to be really good. And even if no one ever sees it, you're going to feel good because of that attitude of putting your love and best effort and efficiency, and you feel satisfied. So it's not really, it's supposedly for others, but it's actually for yourself. It's kind of like a selfish selflessness, that you're doing something for others, but you're also getting satisfaction. So there's many subtle aspects of karma yoga. You can use it to observe yourself, how you mind things. You can use it to become more efficient. You can use it as a service for others. You can use it as a time pass. It's kind of really amazing when you look at these things in these different ways. And you could be doing your present job in the same way, by observing what attitudes you have while you do that work, and how well you can do it. And, you know, even if you're working at home, looking after yourself or looking after your family or whatever job you're doing, or if you're going out and doing a very menial, boring job, it's still a matter of how can I best do it? And if you give it your best, you get the best.
That's beautiful. I love how you said that. And you're right, we did karma yoga when we were at the ashram. And I have to share that my son was helping us to cut the vegetables in preparation for the meals. And he now really loves to cook. You know, we all cook together. So we kind of used that karma yoga that we did in the ashram to our home as we moved and settled back when we arrived. Yes, it was very, very beautiful. And I really agree with you. Anything that we do when it becomes a meditation, a meditative practice, we put our complete concentration on it. And that, like, you know, the Yoga Nidra, in a sense, it just takes anything else out of your mind and you focus. I think that focus is what, at least before, used to take me to different places. And when I didn't have the focus, I wasn't putting my 100% or more. And when I have the focus, then, you know, I feel like I have a purpose, even if it's just cleaning the bathroom. I have a purpose now to clean the bathroom. You know, this is what I must do. And after I finish that, I do the next thing. But it feels more deliberative.
Yes. So would you like me to talk a little bit about some of the other things that can help us to overcome depression and tension and worry?
Yes, that would be great.
Because I was just thinking, when you were talking, I was just thinking about that and thinking how, you see, Yoga Nidra is a really good relaxation meditation. It's a panacea for all psychosomatic ailments that are caused by stress and worry and tension and anxiety. And karma yoga is a panacea for overcoming depression and finding a purpose in life and learning how to do things in your life so that you get fully satisfied. But there's so many other yogas also that help us. For example, if you're suffering from depression, usually even anxiety and mental tension, you're so much in the head and your mind is going round and round and round. All that energy is in the head space, but you're not doing anything with your body. Mm-hmm. So this is where asanas comes. Asanas are the physical practices that we do in yoga. So some people call them exercises, but yogis don't like to call them exercises. We like to call them asanas. And if you do asanas, you're moving your body around. And when you're moving your body around, you're taking some of the energy from the mind into the body, because energy is kind of finite. So if you use your energy, then if you use your body to do something, some of that energy is released from the mind. And then you feel really good because you're doing something and that generates more energy in your body. But the asanas are designed in such a way that they have an effect on a very deep part of yourself. They work on the different systems. They stimulate, cleanse, and balance all the systems of our being, the respiratory system, the digestive system, the nerves, the muscles, the joints. Asanas are not just, to lose weight and to make yourself look beautiful. No, asanas are actually meant to make your body healthy and fit. And so that's what they do. And they work in energy. And they also create a lot of endorphins. They stimulate the endorphins. And so when you're depressed, when you're tense, when you're anxious, suddenly you feel really great because you're into your body and you feel the health and physicalness of your body, and you're draining all that, and you're shifting your focus of attention from thoughts onto how you feel in the body, and you're feeling good because you've just done something physical. And so asanas are a really good way to get out and to release mental tensions and anxieties, get out of depression and all those things. Definitely 100% asanas are good for everyone. Of course, not every asana is good for everyone. There are very vigorous asanas which are like workout, really good for people who have tension, anxiety, and depression. But there are also gentle asanas which are good for the elderly, for the people who may be having back problems and joint, that high blood pressure. That's the beauty about yoga asanas, that there are many different kinds of yoga asanas depending on physical state. And another thing about yoga asanas is you can start at whatever level you are. If you're a total beginner, if you can't do anything, you start at that level. And whatever level you are at, start at that work further and further and further. And depending on your love and capacity for asanas, you can go up to a level where you've got a routine that really makes you feel good and keeps you fit and healthy, keeps you happy. So asanas are really good. And then there's pranayams. Pranayams are energy breathing practices. Are breathing exercises, but actually they're not breathing exercises. We do them with the breath. Prana is like electricity, but it's with the breath. So the breath is a tool to move the prana. So doing something with our energies, we're pushing them up, we're balancing them, cleansing them, and increasing them. And so pranayam is really good also for releasing tensions, for calming and soothing and concentrating the mind, and left brain hemispheres. And the right and left brain hemispheres are connected with the mental and the physical energy. So just as asanas works on the body and meditation works on the mind, pranayam works on both to balance them. So pranayam also, they're wonderful pranayams to just empty your mind, soothe and calm your mind, relax your mind, and give you energy for the things that you've got to do without giving you more energy to worry. So pranayam is also really lovely. And then I was thinking about some of the other meditations. There's a beautiful meditation. I don't know whether you did it, Gila. It's called Antarmaun. Antarmaun means inner silence. And in this meditation, you learn how to be a witness of your thoughts. So it's kind of like if I say to you, be aware of what you're thinking. Well, suddenly you realize, oh, I wasn't listening. I was thinking of something else. And you realize that you were thinking of something else. So how did you do that? You became a witness to what you were thinking and realized you're not thinking what you're supposed to be thinking. So by learning how to be a witness to your thoughts, you realize you can be observing your thoughts from a view as if you're watching someone else thinking. And you realize, oh, you know, I'm thinking negative thoughts again. I'm thinking thoughts which are totally stupid. I'm thinking thoughts that are not at all helpful for me. I'm even thinking things that are not true. But because you're so involved with the thoughts, because the thoughts are so engaging, you don't even realize that you're in that thought. And this is especially useful for things like depression, where when you're depressed, you know, your mind is going a mile a minute, thinking about negative things. Oh, I'm so hopeless. Oh, poor me. Oh, I can't do this. I'm frightened of going out. Everyone hates me. I hate myself. And these are just thoughts which actually are not true and are very detrimental to your health and well-being. And I mean, people kill themselves because of these negative thoughts. So just think, if you learn how to be a witness to the thought and realize, there I go again, thinking those silly negative thoughts. I don't need to think about them. Let me think of something else. Then, once you realize what you're thinking about, you've got a choice. You've got a choice to be able to think of something else. So then you say, okay, I've decided I'm not going to think those negative thoughts because they're not helpful to me at all. I'm going to think some positive thoughts. Then you have to think what kind of thoughts you want to think of. Well, one easy way is to do some karma yoga to help someone else, to go out and help your neighbor, or to help the children, or to do some creative expression, which channelizes your energy and expresses your deeper being. So there are so many things that you could be doing that will help you. So in Antarmaun, we learn to be a witness to our thoughts, and that helps us to realize what we're thinking. And then we can choose to be thinking of something else, which is the beginning of mind control. So a practice like Antarmaun is really good, not only for depression, but it's also good for tension and anxiety and for gaining mind control and to start thinking of something else. And there's one thing in the Yoga Nidra you might remember, it's called sankalpa. And sankalpa is positive intention. It's a short, concise encapsulating what you want to achieve in your present life. So, for example, you could have a sankalp, I will be happy and healthy, or I'm becoming more and more happy, healthy, and loving. So you keep repeating that, and it's kind of like a brainwashing, because you keep repeating it, it goes deep into your subconscious,
Right.
and it takes the place of the negative thoughts, because there's no room for the mind to be thinking of negative thoughts. And so you're making it to keep repeating this, and so eventually you start believing it, just like you were believing the negative thought.
Right.
You're saying, oh, why should I say this positive thing? It's not true. Oh, why should you say the negative? That's not true either. So what you do is you choose. Okay, I don't want to be thinking that negative thing. So then you keep saying your intention, your sankalp, and that molds your mind. It trains your mind to go onto a different pathway, and loving and accepting and understanding and encouraging. So the combination of antarmaun to help you become a witness, and then sankalp, which we get in the Yoga Nidra, helps you to change your way of thinking, to change your life, and to become happy with yourself, self-fulfilled, and a useful and loving person in life.
That's beautiful. I completely agree. And I wanted you to also add a little bit about Nada Yoga, because that was something I learned with you. And I'd love for you to speak a little bit about it.
That's right. Well, it's the yoga of sound. And if you think about it, sound, there's different aspects of sound, you know. Sound has an effect on us. Supposing someone, you know, blasts a truck horn, you know, that blast will hurt our ears. Or if someone scratches nowadays we don't have blackboards, so you can't scratch your nails on a blackboard. But if you hear an unpleasant sound, you feel bad. It has a bad effect on your ears and your mind that's interpreting that sound. And if you hear pleasant music, it's going to make you feel really good. And if you feel, you know, if you listen to some music that you love that's got a great rhythm, you automatically feel like moving your body. And music sound has an effect on us. And sound also is a mode of meditation, because when you listen very carefully to sound and you keep listening to it, you're taking all the rays of your mind, of your concentration, and putting it on one channel, on just listening. So you keep listening, 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 and each time your mind goes off and starts thinking of something else, oh, there's my mind, it's gone off again. It's okay. Now let me bring it back to just listening. So you keep bringing your mind back to listening, and eventually training your mind to focus on that sound. And the sound becomes a channel of your meditation and takes you deep, deep, deep inside. So one aspect is the effect that sound has on us. The other aspect is using sound as a meditation. And many people automatically, after a hectic day, what do they want to do? They just want to sit down, relax, and listen to some good music, because that kind of changes the mood of your mind. It washes your mind. Just like the sankalpa, thought, intention, music can wash your mind and put it into a good mood. So the effect that sound has on us. And mantra is another aspect of Nada Yoga. Mm-hmm. In the ashram, you know, we get early and we get together and we chant mantras at 6 in the morning, and again at night before we go to bed at night at 8 in the evening. And it has such a wonderful. I still to this day don't know how mantras work, but all I know is that they do work, and they're so mysterious. You know, I can't really say how they work, but they do work. And you come together and you chant these mantras, even if you don't understand what they mean. Many of the mantras I chant, I have no idea what they mean, but the sound and the rhythm, I love getting my tongue around those sounds and, you know, seeing if I can manage to get that the pronunciation correct. And just the act of chanting together has, you see, there are two aspects of mantra chanting. If you chant mantra silently by yourself, you're doing your own meditation, mantra meditation and chanting silently, that has one effect. If you're chanting aloud by yourself, that has another effect. The vibrations are different and they have different effects. But if you come together as a group of people and you chant together, it's a little bit like the difference of singing a song by yourself and singing together in a choir. It has a totally different feeling. So when you come together and chant mantras or even sing for that matter, what you is a group. So you're all singing or chanting the same tune, the same pronunciation, the same rhythm, and you are putting aside your own opinions of how it should be done, and you're following the leader. The leader sets the tune and the rhythm, and you all do together, and all chanting and singing like one. It doesn't matter what kind of mantra. It could be an Indian mantra, a Buddhist mantra, a Jewish mantra. It doesn't really matter. It could be a song. But the whole purpose is if people are coming together as one. And this is one of the meanings of yoga. Union, oneness, merging with the higher consciousness, merging with the group. And so you are actually experiencing a yoga. Many people think that yoga is, a posture or a gymnastic, but that's only a very tiny percentage of yoga. There are so many different yogas. There's, as I said before, yoga, karma yoga, which is the yoga of action and what you do with your life. And there's a dhyana yoga, which is meditation and what you do with your mind. And asanas and hatha yoga, what you do with your body. And now the sound, or how you're using sound as a vehicle towards that oneness. So mantra is another aspect of Nada Yoga, which is so powerful, so useful, to me, so enjoyable. And that's another aspect of Nada Yoga. But there is one more aspect, and that is the listening to and focusing on the silent sound behind all sounds. Now, not many people know about this, but they've done experiments. What is the sound of outer space? And you think that, well, outer space is empty, there can't be any sound. But they have recorded what is the sound of outer space, and they found that it's a humming sound, like the ringing of a bell after it stopped ringing. And this is the sound of consciousness. This is the silent sound behind all sounds. It's not a sound made by two surfaces rubbing or striking against each other. It's not made by, and it's not a sound of yourself mentally repeating your mantra or mentally repeating something in your mind. But it's a sound even beyond and behind all those. It's a sound that is not made by anything. It's just there. And once your awareness gets subtler and subtler and subtler, you can actually train yourself to hear that sound. And once you hear that sound, it's like a beautiful elixir and nectar. And it keeps on going on. And you learn how to hook into that sound again and again. And so it's kind of like always there. So you can meditate on it. You can use it as a vehicle of your meditation. And it's for people who can catch that sound. It's a wonderful meditation. So that's another aspect of Nada Yoga that I really like. And it may not suit everyone. There are different, so many different, thousands and millions of meditations. What would just like? Many people have been there, many people know about it, many people can guide you, but ultimately you have to walk on it. It's like if you want to get from point A to point B, 100 people can tell you what it's like and how to get there. But if you want to get there, you have to go. Whether you're going to walk, cycle, take a car or a train, you have to go. life. You have to live it.
Yes. Yes, I love that explanation. And I just wanted to share that the mantras, or I still do them, and I don't always understand what they are. And I grew up with them. So there is something very divine and also very comforting for me when I say the mantras.
Yes.
Would you like to say one together, the Mahamrityunjaya mantra?
Yeah. Let me tell a little bit about it.
Okay.
And then we'll say it together, just like we do it in the ashram.
Perfect.
Okay. So Mahamrityunjaya mantra means the great sacred sound of liberation. So it's a mantra that helps us to reach liberation. The thing about it is it's got three different meanings. One is literal meaning. And the literal meaning of the Mahamrityunjaya mantra is, let me become liberated from this body, which means die or get liberated, as easily as a ripe cucumber falls from the vine. Funny, isn't it? The thing is, when a fruit is ripe, there's no struggle. You just drop because you're ripe. And so when we die or when we get liberated and realize, it shouldn't be a struggle. It should be like a fruit dropping from the tree, as easy and ready for it. So that's the literal meaning. The other meaning is the benefit of the mantra. And this mantra, the benefit of Mahamrityunjaya mantra is it's for the benefit of all, giving physical, mental, and spiritual well-being, sending and creating good. This is what I say every time we do before the mantra, because when you say it, and people are thinking about that, they're actually creating that, because what you think becomes a reality. Your thoughts become things. So therefore, we always make an intention before chanting a mantra, whether it be aloud, in a group, or individually or silently. So the intention or benefit of that Mahamrityunjaya mantra is a healing mantra. It can be chanted especially for sending healing energies to other people. So supposing you have someone who needs healing, or you want to help them in some way, whether it be a physical ailment or anything else, they're going through a bad time, or they're suffering in some way. You can visualize them looking happy, healthy, and strong. And with that idea and thought in your mind, you chant this mantra, and the waves and vibrations of that mantra go through the subtle planes and to reach them to their goal. So this is how you can use the healing mantra. And the funny thing about this healing mantra is you can't do it for yourself. Supposing I'm sick, if I chant Mahamrityunjaya mantra, it won't help me, because it doesn't work that way. It's like a boomerang. If you chant Mahamrityunjaya mantra, it also boomerangs back and helps you. So if you chant it for someone else, you also get benefit. So one benefit of Mahamrityunjaya mantra, one meaning, is the literal meaning. The second meaning is the benefit or the effect of the mantra. And the third meaning is your own personal interpretation. And that depends on so many things. For example, now whenever Gila chants that mantra, she's probably going to mentally come back to the ashram and associate it with the ashram. And maybe when she chants a mantra that she knows from childhood, she might think of her grandmother and the time when she was little, and the benefit she got and the effect it had for her. So that's her personal meaning, because all the connotations and things that came when you chanted that mantra, it evokes a particular idea, atmosphere, or vibration for you. So that is your personal meaning of the mantra. You might be chanting a mantra and it gives you confidence and courage and joy. So that is the meaning for you. So each mantra has three meanings: the literal meaning, the benefit or the effect, and the personalized meaning. So let's get back to Mahamrityunjaya mantra. And this is one of the most common and famous mantras chanted throughout India and people who are on the Indian spiritual path. And usually we chant it in the morning and in the evening 11 times together. And every Saturday we do Mahamrityunjaya Mantra Havan, which is an ancient fire ceremony from the Vedic times. And we chant this mantra 108 times for the benefit of all. So we're creating good vibrations, we're destroying negative vibrations, and we're sending healing energies to whoever we are intending it. So if you want to join us, we do this Havan every Saturday at 5:30 Indian Standard Time. Come a little early, and we put it online so anyone can join. So when we do it now, what we're going to do, just sit comfortably and try and keep your spine upright, and upright with your head, and your body should feel balanced and comfortable. So you're not going to kind of do it while you're lying down like this, but you're going to be a little formal so that you can focus nicely, and eyes gently closed. Do you want them to see the words, or
I'll put them in the description. They'll be in the description so they could read along when they're watching.
So if you need to see the you are chanting, just keep your eyes open and read it. But what I'm going to do is first time lead and repeat so you get the pronunciation right together. Okay? So once you got into, don't forget when thinking, think of one or more people, places, or situations that you would like to pray for, and keep that in mind, looking happy, healthy, and strong as we chant the Mahamrityunjaya mantra, the great healing mantra for the benefit of all, giving physical, mental, and spiritual well-being, sending healing energies, and creating good vibrations. First time lead and repeat, and then 11 times together. First time lead and repeat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardanam. Sugandhim Pushtivardanam. Urvarukamiva Bandhanat. Urvarukamiva Bandhanat. Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. 11 times. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardanam. Urvarukamiva Bandhanat. Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardanam. Urvarukamiva Bandhanat. Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardanam. Urvarukamiva Bandhanat. Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardanam. Urvarukamiva Bandhanat. Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardanam. Urvarukamiva Bandhanat. Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardanam. Urvarukamiva Bandhanat. Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardanam. Urvarukamiva Bandhanat. Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardanam. Urvarukamiva bandhanat mrityurmokshiyamamritat Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva bandhanat mrityurmokshiyamamritat Om Trayambakam
Yajamahe
Sugandhim pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva bandhanat Mrityurmokshiyamamritat Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Keep your eyes closed and just sit silently for a few moments, enjoying the vibrations and noticing how you feel after chanting this mantra. Notice how you feel and the effect that chanting this mantra has on your mind. And when you're quite ready, gently open your eyes with a big smile on your face. And keep that smile for the next person that you see. And if you don't see someone in the near future, just go to the mirror and give yourself that smile.
Hari Om. So Swamiji, I think people might be very interested in connecting with you and learning more about how they can do all of these different practices. Can you tell us a little bit about the EKA Meditation App and other things that you're doing online so they can connect with you?
Great, great. So I work with an app called EKA Meditation App. And it's really a wonderful opportunity to be able to share what I have, what I received from my tradition and my guru, Swami Satyananda, to be able to share that with everyone who's interested. So you don't have to come to the ashram, you don't even have to attend the courses, but if you download that app, not only my meditations and pranayams and especially Yoga Nidra, but the many other different meditations and especially things for sleep and all kinds of things there. So you can just find it easily on the internet, EKA, EKA Meditation App. It's good for the iPhones and also for the Androids. So that's one aspect that I feel really happy to be able to share good things with people. And the other thing is because of the COVID pandemic, there are many good things that have come out of this. And one of them is that I've had to start giving online courses and classes and sessions. So wherever you are in the world, just like Gila and I are connecting now through the internet waves, or the Ethernet, I think they call it, you can attend the courses and the sessions, the free sessions, and you can learn so many things. And I'm really blown away with how much we can do through these things. So I think probably the best way is just to send me an email. I'm sure that Gila will put the email up. But even if you don't have anything, if you just search in the internet, Swami Yogaratna, you'll find me. You'll find the website, you'll find my email, and you just write an email and I'll send you the information about the courses. And of course, once, things open up and people travel, you're welcome to come to the ashram. We're especially looking for long-term residents and volunteers, people who want to come and live in a community of like-minded people, working on themselves and help. And getting into more spiritual. It was such a joy having Gila and her family with us. It really was. So she said she learned so much, but I learned so much because I remember when you first came, Gila, you know, I sat you down with the kids and I said, now this is your program. And what times are you going? You're going to need some time to teach the kids and do some homeschooling. And how much time will you need for that? And when will you do it? And she said, oh, no, I don't give any homeschooling. They learn by themselves. And I said, how can they do that? And then she explained everything. And I thought, wow, that's very interesting. Let me see how it works, you know. Let them do what they want and let's see how it works. And I found that it works really, really well. That what the kids need to learn, they learn. And if they need to ask anything, they just go and ask. And actually, they become so resourceful. They know how to search everything on the internet. They know where to do. They know everything about life. They know cooking. They know gardening. They know how to get on with people. They know everything. And I was so inspired by that. That if anyone comes and asks me, you see, we have a little play school here for the little kids, English medium play school for the local kids. And if anyone comes and asks me, why don't you extend your school and make a high school? I'll say, yes, I'll be there to help you. I won't do it, but I'll come and help you. And I've got a totally different idea now of what education is. And I've already asked you, Gila, to come and be an advisor on our panel, because I've seen how well she's brought up her kids, almost single-handedly too. And so I think that that's how kids should be grown up, in the school of life.
Right. Thank you, Swamiji. I truly appreciate that. Yeah, I was a teacher, and I always believed in experiential education, and I really believe that children need to be with their parents as much as they can, because they need the bond, you know, until they feel more independent to move on by themselves. So yeah, I also agree with academics, though I think we can mix them more together to really get a well-rounded individual.
Yeah, even if you look at the old traditional way of educating people, most of the time was spent with the family, learning the trade, learning everything about what adults do. That's how you grow up. And only a small percentage of the time is spent on academics and that sort of thing. And now, academics, when you see how we internet, you plug in and you've got the whole of the internet at your fingertips. There's no need to mug up history books, geography books, and everything. What you need to do is learn how to use the internet, learn how to use a camera, learn how to make a project. What do they call it? Photoshop or whatever it is. A PowerPoint, that's it. I keep forgetting that name. Learn how to make a project, learn how to make a video, learn how to express yourself, learn how to communicate with people through languages and through, you know, making friends and influencing people. So I think those are the important things. Learning how to drive a car, how to do things that you need to in life, how to touch time.
Yes. I'm encouraging anyone who's watching to, to take advantage of Swamiji's meditations in the EKA Meditation App and her courses, which I'll definitely put the link for her website and the EKA
Facebook and Instagram.
Ah, you're also on Instagram. Okay, great. So I'll put it, and I'll be advertising on Instagram, so you'll see that as well. And I'll put a link to their site. So I'm encouraging you to take advantage of this amazing interview that she shared so much wonderful information. And if you'd like to connect with me, my information will be there as well. And I am enrolling for a group program. So joining the two together can be totally phenomenal. So I'm encouraging you to take that opportunity. Any final words you'd like to say, Swamiji?
I think just thank you so much. It was really wonderful. I don't know how it all came out, but I think the divine must have been with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless.